What all things would I miss if I switched to MacBook from Windows? Positives and negatives. I switched about 18 months ago. The best 2 bits of advice I can offer. Be prepared for some things to simply not make much sense to your Windows brain. The one that still gets me is that some apps stay open even there's no Windows open. Spotlight is your friend, and can make zooming around the OS a breeze. It's an experience that Windows just doesn't match. Also check out Raycast if you want to take things to the next level. Game compatibility, mostly, in my case. Everything else on an M1 MacBook really is much nicer. Oh, and proper external monitor support, if you care about that. As others have said, games on Mac are lacking. Not to say you can't find games to play, but if you're a gamer, you want a Windows machine. For me, I have a Windows desktop that I play games on and an M1 MacBook, and I think it's a fantastic combination to have. Also, if you're in the minority that uses niche software for work whatever, just make sure Mac supports it before purchasing. I got my M1 Pro MacBook refurbished for $1,400 a month ago, and it's been amazing for me. The biggest pro of a Mac is that it feels great to use, has great battery, and really just reliably works. You won't be able to forget your power brick on purpose to avoid working. If you switch to Mac with M-series chip, you will also lose some virtualization support, as you won't be able to virtualize x86 Windows Linux, run some Android emulators, and also you will lose nested virtualization support. Your Steam library and some other software for the most part. I can't stand Finder Mac's File Explorer. The joy of drivers. I haven't thought about drivers in 15 years. Maximizing windows by dragging them to the top of the screen. You gain better touch tool, Alfred, Paste Pal, and better battery life. I for one found file management and using the Finder simply awful on the MacBook. That's just my opinion. No blatant advertising stickers on the machine. Rock solid performance. If you are a gamer, you are going to miss those things. My MacBook M1 Max has been rock solid when it comes to all things productivity-wise. I do graphic design editing, videoing editing, and even run Windows on Parallels for a business application that will not support macOS. It's way lighter than any Windows laptop, runs forever on battery minus running the Windows VM the whole time, and not once I ever heard the fans kick on no matter what I throw at it. It's just so much more efficient. For gaming and personal hobby, I built a nice AMD system that I use strictly for that purpose. You can forget about gaming on your computer after moving to Mac. The sole reason I still need Windows is how gimped the MS Office suite are on macOS. I admit these has come a long way, at least file compatibility is good now, but there are still so many missing features. macOS Outlook is an embarrassment. Even Outlook Web is better. You're going to miss out on a lot of games, that's it I guess. I've been a Windows user for over 25 years and games are the only thing I miss about it. I've recently bought a Steam Deck, so I'm good. Alt-Tab Control-Tab doing anything sane or consistent. You'll miss having to plug in every 4 hours gaming unless you're playing something cross-platform like Minecraft. Intrusive update nagging. macOS can get a little naggy about updates, but you can just turn it off. The main thing for me is the preview app. I also like how apps installed on a Mac are nice and simple to uninstall, and I don't have to mess with a registry. A huge learning curve. 3 years later and I still can't figure out some basic stuff. I should have got a 12 iPad Pro. Be sods. How many external monitors do you use? If you get a MacBook with an M-series chip, you'll want to make sure it supports multiple external monitors. Most M-series only support one additional monitor. External monitor support is still terrible on macOS and doesn't have the scaling that Windows offers, unless you buy an expensive monitor. The ability to upgrade to whatever OS you want and not have it limited by Microsoft. If your hardware specs don't cut it, slap in more RAM or a TPM and you're on your way. With my Macs, which I love by the way, Apple just decides 1 year nope, this Mac isn't going to be compatible with Ventura. We're bumping you off the support list. Not only does Mac sucks at multi-monitor support, its native scaling method sucks for 4K. So you are forced to buy specific 5K monitors for best experience. Say what you want about the benefits of integer scaling, I of course prefer it too, but it absolutely should support scaling for those resolutions too. I personally missed nothing. The only thing I can think of is games if you're a heavy gamer. Also, I'm not sure what others are on about with window management and external monitors. I've never experienced any issues personally. As for window snapping, it exists but it's unintuitive. I use an app called Magnet that does exactly what I want. You would miss the amount of time in your life that was lost from using Windows, so I guess that's a biggie right up front. Blue screen of death. And endless updates. And the need to replace your machine every 2 years. Nothing. There's nothing to miss. Windows 11. I loved Windows 10 and my work auto-bombed my laptop with Windows 11. Slower, buggy, no benefits whatsoever other than a nice pause while it contacts the mothership before letting me right-click a typo. Losing all your work because you didn't hit save, smiley face, I just don't need to do that. Plus I love being able to stop on one device, and just carry on another. Edit photos on my iPad, then put them into docs on the MacBook, and instantly be able to open it on my phone. I thought I'd miss Kiss as that was my career, but these days it's much easier to get versions of the more obscure software types too. Some things you will miss. Owning your device. Owning your device. And owning your device. Swappable memory, repairability. What you get. A stylish device, a stylish OS, connectivity between other Apple products. Depends on how much of a power user you are. The biggest is gaming support. If that doesn't matter, then everything else is pretty small learning curve and pretty similar feature parity. It's impossible to tell what you will miss if we don't know what you do on your laptop. For example, even if we are talking about a Steam library, it's possible that every game you play already works on macOS. It's really a decision that you can only make for yourself. Games, the ability to scroll through pictures, it is annoying, believe me man. The ability to minimize and maximize apps on easy, forgot how that works, but it definitely was better on Windows than on Mac. Also file management was way easier on Windows, so yeah, pretty much software things. Close button on the different side. Not a laptop, but desktop here. Switched from a full gaming rig to a Mac Mini M1. The only thing I'm really missing is the gaming aspect. In every other way, it's superior. I won't lie though, at first I was a bit lost. Used nothing but Windows for so long you get used to that OS's way of doing things. It just took a little patience to get to grips with the macOS way of doing things. Window management. Miss external monitor support and especially non-integer scaling. Game supports. Windows management, especially with power toys and downsize zones and multi-windows of the same app management, clipboard history. Positives: integration with your phone if it's an iPhone, preview almost everything with spacebar, full suite of well-capable native apps, PDF editor, Office suite, very good system customization, design consistency, Arc browser, the Finder is a joy to use with drop-down and column views. There's an app in the Windows App Store called Quick Look that duplicates the function of Quick Look on macOS. I honestly just miss being able to do everything via keyboard shortcuts. Been on Windows for over a decade now and still haven't gotten used to it. Edit: so sorry. Thought you meant the other way around. You won't miss much unless you're into Steam gaming, which is almost non-existent on macOS. This is the most niche edge case, but Mac's version of Microsoft Office does not include Microsoft Publisher, in case you need to use that one specific program sometimes.